So if you look at the instructions, now we're going to kind of start prep for our grid lines. For clarity purposes, the written instructions show different colors. I'm going to go ahead and do all mine using the red for my actual grid lines. But you can see if we zoom in here, we have a line coming in between, then we have a line from the midpoint, then we have another line going right through the middle of our structure here that we've mirrored onto the other side. One important thing is, since this is now on the structure instead of the outside of the wall, we have to figure out the distance that we're going to bring this in. So let's go over to our other model. Nope, wrong one. And so if I just come in and I draw a single line, and 2 feet's a little aggressive. 1.5 might be okay. We'll try 1.5 and see how that looks. So I'm just going to make sure grids is my active layer. I'm going to say offset. Yeah, 1.5 feet. And now I'm going to pick this line and bring it in. And for some reason, let me Control Z that. So again, I'm going to type offset. So I want to get rid of this cap. And now I can just come down. There we go. I'm going to hit enter. I'm going to do it again on this side. Oh. What is happening here? My program is freaking out a little. So I'm going to try it again. There we go. Alright, now I can draw a line in between. If you notice in the instructions, he starts out here and then ends up moving it in here for visibility. So I'm going to go ahead and again just do a single line. I'm going to try and line it up with this. Alright, now I can draw another one that's at the midpoint. This is polyline. I don't want a polyline. I want a single segment. Now I'm going to snap to this mid. And actually, there's a thing if you're trying to go multiple directions because you're starting in the middle of a drawing. There's this line from midpoint. So I'm going to snap from midpoint, and now you'll see it actually goes both ways, which is kind of handy, especially when you're laying out grids and if you're trying to find a reference that's somewhere else. Now I'm going to do one of these. I'm going to try and find the structure, and I'm going to go ahead and do that same thing. I'm going to use the line from midpoint because this is nice and clear from here that this is the middle of a column. Alright, now I'm going to mirror this one to the other side. Mirror. I'm going to pick this line. Click enter. I'm going to pick this line and I'm just going to draw right along it. And now I've got one that comes through my structure over here. So next thing we need to do is split this vertical line, because if you see we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 bays over here, 6 bays on this side, and it's hard to tell from this drawing, but inside it's 10. So I'm going to type split. Select objects to split. I am splitting this vertical line. Click enter when you're done. And now cutting objects. So I want to use not this midpoint, but I want to use this line and this line. I'll click enter. And so now when I come back in, this curve is just the inside bit. And I don't know what this group is it keeps asking about. I'm wondering. Oh, that's the group of that. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and lock that layer so it quits trying to ask me. All right, so now I'm going to take this vertical and I'm going to type divide. And if I put 10, you can see it lines up pretty well there. All right, now I'm going to be away from it. I'm going to click divide with nothing selected. And now I'm going to select both these curves because both of them have the same number. I'm going to click enter, and now I'm going to change the number of segments to 6. And you can see again, lines up nicely with the drawing. Now we need to start copying. Any place there's one of these dots, we need a horizontal line. So I'm just going to pick this one. I'm going to say copy. And Gumball is your friend and your enemy. It's tempting to use, but it's less precise than typing. So now I can type. And I want to turn on point as well. And now it will snap to each of these points. So I suggest Gumball sparingly. I can skip that one. And I'm going to go ahead because this one is so short. And now I'll just leave it because that's the end of the building. All right. So now I have a bunch of horizontal grids. We need some vertical grids as well. And those are done a little bit differently. I'm going to change the color of this for a minute to something super bright and easy to see. I'm going to use this for now because what I want is I'm going to need to break this up. And if you look at our written instructions, once you have all these in, like we already do, we're kind of breaking this into a pattern. So from here to here, that's just one line. But in here we have 4 equal lines. So I'm going to do something similar. I'm going to draw a model line from here to here, and I'm going to divide it into 4 segments. I'll draw another one from this edge to here, divide it into 2. And I'll do a single one, or no, another double. And then I'll copy this one because they need to be the same. So I'll copy that line over here. And then this last one is just kind of like it's a bit of a loner. I'm going to come in here and I'm going to come to a single line. I'm going to make sure my green is active. I'm just going to take my best guess as to where that would start and end. Now I'm going to say divide. And I'm going to say I want 4. And it's not perfect with the drawing, but it's close enough. We're never going to be identical when it comes to things like this. Alright, and I kind of already have one at the edge of the wall here. But if we look, we're more on the inside of the wall. So I'll probably, now that we've established our border, I might just move that over. Alright, so now we need 2 coming from this edge to this edge, and we'll divide it by 2. So first, I'm going to highlight this vertical line out here, and I'm going to say copy, and I'm going to come back to my red so that I know it stays. And I'm going to click intersection, or I'm just going to go 1, 2, 3. I already have one there. And 4. Alright, I'm going to come back to my green just so that I can draw out this one. Another single line. And I'm going to come from this intersection kind of to the inside here. I'm going to split that into 2. But first I'm going to draw another one from here to here. And then I'm going to copy this one. Actually, I'll divide it first. And I'm going to say 2. I'll go ahead, I'll divide this one. 2. And now I'm going to get this curve. I'm going to say copy. I'm going to come from this endpoint straight over to this endpoint. Sadly, it did not take those points with it. Also, it feels like it's a little off. But that's alright, because this end one this lines up nicely. This one's a little weird. It's close enough to what we're trying to recreate that I'm not going to worry about it. But I'm going to click this curve. I'm going to say divide 2. Alright, and then our last one will be out here. So we'll take a vertical line again, say copy. And then just snap to each point. And then I think this was closer to the inside of the wall. Take a peek. And middle of the wall, I can move it. And you can see the next thing we're going to do is we're just going to select a set of them. We're going to rotate them up, making a copy so that we have vertical lines in both directions. So first, let me click on this. I'm going to type the word move. And now I can click here and I can bring it to the middle of the wall. Alright, the easiest way to get these is to just do a drag motion here And does that get everything? No, we're still missing these outer ones. So I'm going to make sure to hold Shift and grab these. If you want to do these outside establishing ones, you can. Those are just the edges of the wall though. We're not going to use those for any kind of structure. And so now from any view where I can see this, I'm going to start rotating. I'm going to tap Alt. And I'm going to tap Alt until I see it actually adding to my There we go. Now that I see that plus sign, now I know it's adding. So I have a vertical set and a horizontal set here. I'm going to do the same thing for our others. So I'm going to do a drag this direction. That should be all of my lines. I'm going to come to a view where I can see. I'm going to start rotating and tap Alt until I see that plus sign. So now I've got grids, I've got images. Oh, I rotated the image as well. Cool. So that's another thing you want to do at some point is rotate these images, because the reason we have these, and that one is locked, is so that we can see them in that view. Plan, it's elevation. So I'm going to click this one, and I'm going to come to a view like this. I'm going to rotate it. I'm going to tap Alt. As soon as I see that plus, that means I know I have that image rotated. And if I want to do my last one, that's the actual floor plan, or the elevation, and I just need to come to another view with a rotate, tap Alt, and that rotated the wrong direction. So I'm going to try it this way. So I want to do the red, tap Alt. Alright. Now if I wanted to raise these, I can just grab it, raise it up so that I can better see it. And so now this gets very crowded and very confusing, which is why I like to have things on separate layers, so that if I'm trying to work from a particular view and I don't want to see all of these plans in my way, or if I only want to see the section and not the elevations, now I can do that. So this is probably going to need to be closer to where our ground is, I'm guessing. And now that I've established my grids, I can delete all this. And now I can reuse this layer for something else. Alright, that's it for the first classwork on Chaserrugg, and we'll keep working from here.